It's that boy that you know and love. It's that boy that you know and love. It's that boy. 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 Can anybody find me? That boy. A while back, I debunked the myth of loud pipes save lives in the 7 More Motorcycle Myths series. All in all, I actually debunked 21 myths, so if you haven't seen those videos, do yourself a favor and go check them out. The one about loud pipes is the only one relevant to this video though, so back to that. There are 3 things that we notice pretty quickly about motorcycles: how they look, how fast they are, and how they sound. Whether you're riding around on a prepubescent bumblebee or a throaty dragon, you and everyone around you take notice of how that bike sounds every single time you ride it. It's a point of pride. It's like revving a minivan against revving a Porsche 911 Turbo at a red light. One of those drivers gets to smile. The other probably has a half-eaten gummy bear stuck to the back of their head that they don't even know about. Gross. Now, I'm not here to debate whether a high-revving sport bike sounds better than a thick and hearty potato rumble of a Harley. They obviously do, so there's not even a point in debating it. What I am here to do is deliver truth, and I'm serving up this week's truth in an ale mug because it's going to be smooth and easy to swallow, just like my nut. Hello and welcome back to Date Night with Yam. Wait, that's my other channel. Hello there and welcome back to your favorite channel of all time and all things motorcycle. If you're new around here, go ahead and click the subscribe button right down here. It's right over there. Go ahead and click on that. Just do it for me. I want to make sure you stay up to date on all the latest happenings here at Yammie Noob Productions, and you're going to want to make sure you do that. Seriously. And with that, it's time for your proverbial mug of truth with yours truly, Flappy Boob. 4-cylinder Japanese bikes and V-twins are the same engines that people are riding around on all the time, so it makes sense that that's what we hear the most frequently and kind of develop an ear for. And although the big 4 somehow manage to dominate absolutely everything they do, there are other bikes out there. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about those. The most unique engine sounds out there. I've got 7 of these babies all lined up for your viewing or listening pleasure. Lining up babies for viewing pleasure sounds like some sick genetics modification experiment. Anyways, let's check these bikes out. Up first is the 1960 MV Agusta 500cc GP. This bike is a 70 horsepower 4-cylinder motorcycle from the 60s. It sounds like an old school fighter plane. This is the haunting sound of knowing you're about to get your ass handed to you. It's deep, rumbly, a little scary, but in a good way. It's easy to get hypnotized by that throaty purr, but keep it together, boys. There's 6 more of these unique engine sounds for us to get through today. Before we move on though, let's get a quick sound check. That's a spicy meatball. 60s carbureted 2-stroke small displacement fun in a throaty barking package. I love it. You gotta love those Italian bikes. Still have yet to get my hands on an MV, maybe someday though, huh boys? I know they make that delicious F3, and that's kind of Italy's answer to the Daytona. Now that brings us to bike number 2 on our distinguished list, which is the Aprilia RSV4. The Aprilia RSV4 is one of the most exotic V4 engines on this list, and yes, I chose it over the Ducati. I know the new V4R revs to 16,000. No, I don't care. The RSV4 will always have my heart. It's got 1,000 cc's and 201 horsepower at 13,000 RPM, and I'm talking about that latest gen RSV4, even though I know that new factory is going to produce more power, might sound a little bit different, but I've spread the good word about the RSV4 many times, but every time I watch a video with their exhaust sounds, I get a little more antsy to just go and buy one. Let's take a listen. Man, that's nice. Big ups to Muscle Biker, still sub to you, bro. Loving the new uploads. The Aprilia RSV4 has a distinct sound that's a blend of the rumble you usually find in supercars and the hollow whine of a V4. Typically a bike with this much power ends up sounding like a strung out, extremely precise machine that's going to be measured in hours, but somehow Aprilia manages to pull out this hybrid super purr out of that exhaust pipe. All right, we're only 2 bikes in and I'm already in need of some roomier pants. This was less awkward when you guys couldn't see me. Oh God. Moving on. Bike number 3, the Honda RC166. This bike is a little bit smaller. It's been called a pocket bike, but it's got an inline 6-cylinder and a lightweight frame, which is the perfect equation if you're looking to go fast. Gotta go fast. Surprisingly, the Honda RC166 only has 250 cc's and 62 horsepower, which is pretty small compared to the other bikes on our list, but it's gonna hit 18,000 RPM when it does. And beautiful things happen when it does. Pure F1 sound, guys. Now I recognize this is an old school race only bike, but come on guys, these are some unbelievable sounds. And everyone knows I'm a sucker for inline 6s and flat 6s and V6s. Let's take a listen. Anyone else gonna need a cold shower after this? I definitely will, because I stink. Maybe 7 was a bit too many for one sitting. I probably should have split this up. There's just way too much exotic sounding goodness to be consumed in one video. Regardless, I've committed to bringing you 7 of the most unique engine sounds, and that is what I'm gonna do, god damn it! Number 4, the Husqvarna Nuda. Yes, you heard that right. The Husqvarna Nuda. Husqvarna. No, this is not a tractor or some piece of farm equipment, and yes, it's the same Husqvarna, even if I can't pronounce the word, you Swedish sons of bitches. The Husqvarna Nuda wasn't even legal in the US, so our friends across the pond are just gonna have to tell us what kind of ride this lady offers. But thanks to technology, we know all about how she sounds, and it is nice. A barking big bore parallel twin gives this bike the character we all know and love from our favorite silent vlogger, Royal Jordanian, who now has over 1 million subscribers. Dude, that's crazy. Congratulations, that's well deserved. Here's the sounds of his wonderful Nuda. The engine on this Nuda was given the official treatment of hot rods, which left the Italians calling it a motardona, which is a supermoto with hair on its chest. If that's not a badge of honor, I don't know what is. This is perhaps the deepest rumble on our list by far. The pokey torque of this beast combined with its angular Swedish looks makes it unique enough already, but that throaty sound gives you something to really chew on. The old Husky is a far cry from the chainsaws that Husqvarna is known for. Number 5 on our list of the most unique engine sounds is the 1990 CBR250RR, which coincidentally is the year I was born. Just kidding, I'm not that old. This dome is bald by choice and testosterone. I'm a little bit younger than that. The 1990 CBR250RR is another bike that was typically not legal in the US. It was originally only sold in Japan and offered riders 45 horsepower to use as they pleased. But after 94, the engine got tuned down to 40 horsepower. Sad. Before they started dropping the horsepower though, the CBR250RR was known for redlining at an impressive and almost a little scary 19,000 RPM, baby. The ultra high rev of this engine is part of what gives it that distinct sound. Let's take a listen. The baby Fireblade looks positively 90s and very similar to the 1998 CBR900 I covered in my other video, the 7 bikes that are faster than supercars, which if you haven't seen, do yourself a favor, click the pop-out card, check that out. Another awesome thing to note for riders who live in license-restricted countries, the CBR250RR is learner approved since it has under 45 horsepower. I've heard your cries for a video on Eurobike learner permits. I will get around to it, my guys. And here it comes, my little yam pies. The moment I've been waiting my entire life for the Triumph endorsement the moment they notice yours truly and say, hey, that guy looks like he knows his way around a Daytona. We should probably throw some money at him. Let's see what happens. Number 6, the Triumph Daytona 675R. For those of you who have been part of the Yammie family for a while, the sound of a 675R is no stranger to your ear. As my personal bike of choice, there is a lot of footage of your old Papa Yam scooting around on the long but not forgotten Daytona. Man, may they both rest in peace. R.I.P., but there's no time like the present to give your ears the gift that is a Triumph Daytona. Here it is. This super sport is the epitome of refinement. She's the Miss Universe of motorcycles. The inline 3 sound is like no other and transcends all mortal worlds. I swear, as much as Triumph wants nothing to do with me, I've had so many people tell me they've bought Daytonas because of me, and that's okay. Because I truly believe it is the greatest sports bike ever made. Seriously, go ride one and tell me you don't love it. They are so good. It's torquey, it's flickable, it sounds amazing, it looks amazing. It's the best bike, the best. That is satisfying. The final and arguably best bike on our list is number 7, the BMW S1000RR. There is a new BMW S1000RR being released sometime this year, but for now, all we've got are these teasers on the BMW Instagram page. So once that's released, I may have to reevaluate some of these stats. For now though, these are good to go. So this bike is loud. A static sound measurement clocked in at 92.1 decibels. For reference, rock concerts usually clock in at about 100 decibels. So even the resting state on this bike is loud. Of course, I had to provide a sound clip from everyone's favorite Australian vlogger, Riding with Tom. When you're on a BMW S1000RR, you've got 199 horsepower and 13,500 RPMs at your disposal with 83 foot-pounds of torque, and that's a lot of power. That is definitely not a beginner bike. I'd go as far to say that's not even an intermediate bike, unless you're on the upper end of intermediate. Unless you like barely revving it out on the street and never exploring its potential, either way, the Beamer is one of the best sounding inline 4s, hands down. And it's got a tone and quality about it that makes it unique in my opinion. Now for this week's segment of Motorcycle Clip of the Week, where I find or you send me a dope motorcycle clip to feature. It can be a mega dank woolie, it could be someone almost crashing, whatever you can think to be featured. Shoot me a line at coalitionmoto@gmail.com if you have a clip that you think is worthy of being featured. For today, Roy Goddickson said our tank slapper was super weak, so he shot over this video. Let's take a look. Wow, no gloves, massive wheelie, and a tank slapper to truly write home about. That clip came to us from user Kyle Gott by way of Roy's comment, and that's wild stuff. Glad you're able to ride away from that one, homie. And that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. My bros, thanks for stopping by and supporting the channel. Don't forget to check out the Beginner Bike Build series. You can find out how you can win our beautiful hentai Hornet. Big surprise coming this Friday. I'm gonna drop a link in the description box below. Big news, like I said previously. Check out my Instagram if you want to get a little peep show at that. I'll catch you next time. See you later. Fact, the world's oldest chewing gum is 9,000 years old. Disgusting! Goodbye.